Welcome to Travel Chicks, where we talk travel, transformation, and inspiration. My name's Melissa. I'm the founder of Travel Chicks, and I want to let you know that it may be me, it may be one of our other travel chicks, but welcome on board this adventure. Please, if you love what you hear, like it. Leave a review and share this with your friends. We need to inspire more people to create their own travel story. Welcome back to another episode of Travel Talk, where we talk all things travel, transformation, and inspiration so that hopefully it inspires you to click that button, call your local agent, and book your bloody trip. Today's guest, I am so excited to have because there is some really exciting news happening on the cruise front. So today, I am welcoming Fatima from Norwegian Cruise Lines. Thank you for being here today.
Oh my God, Melissa, thank you so much for reaching out. This is so exciting.
Yeah. So how about we just dive right in? Number one, what is the most exciting thing happening tomorrow?
Well, we're launching our new ship. She's the 18th, joining the fleet, the Norwegian Prima, and she's being christened tomorrow. And the exciting news is Katy Perry is her godmother. So that's so exciting. So Norwegian Prima, she is going to really change Norwegian Cruise Line. She's very upscale. We've done a lot of changes with restaurants, activities for families. She's just going to be amazing for all types of travelers.
Mm-hmm. So how about we actually talk about a few things on board the ship? Because I've been excited to watch the promo videos that you guys have come out with, and perhaps some people haven't seen the video yet. And so what are some highlights of Norwegian Prima that you can speak to inform our guests about today?
Well, we have the 3-level racetrack.
Yeah, I saw that. So cool.
We're also going to have, so the Broadway show is the summer show. And the nice thing about the theater on the Prima, which there's no ship out there that has the theater. So the theater actually turns into 3 events. So it does the Broadway show. It's going to have 4 different types of game shows, like The Price is Right, the shopping. Everybody always, when I say it's the shopping game show where you go with the shopping carts around and you go shopping, we'll have that. And then at night after the Broadway show, it's going to turn into a 3-level nightclub, like Las Vegas style. So that's that's really exciting. I've passed my nightclub days, but tell ya. We're also going to have an improv theater, which that's also new for us, the improv theater. And then the Ocean Boulevard. So the Ocean Boulevard is about 44,000 square feet on deck 8. She's going to have infinity pools on each side. And a food court. So I call it the fancy food court. So any of our popular, like the Garden Cafe, our local, which is our very famous 24-hour Irish pub. It's going to have like a noodles restaurant, Starbucks, Coco's. So it's going to be great for families or, people that travel in big groups. Because I don't know about you, Melissa, but when I travel with like big groups of people or family, everybody tends to, I want to go here for lunch. I want to go there for lunch, or, I want to go here. So the nice part is that all of the best dining locations are all going to be in one spot where everybody can go and get what they want and then come and eat where they want, sit together and eat together. So that's the nice thing new with the Prima. The other nice thing with the Prima, we've designed her as to look outwards, not inwards. So like the Haven complex is on the aft of the ship. So the reason why it's on the aft of the ship is because the private courtyard and their infinity pool is going to be on the aft of the ship. So you're looking out. Also the Hudson, which is my background, the Hudson restaurant, which is one of the main dining rooms. As you can see, it's surrounded by glass. So wherever you sit in the main dining room, you're going to have amazing views of the ocean. So she has so much to offer. Single travelers, we have the solo staterooms, which are fantastic. The no single supplement, right? Because traveling alone sometimes can be expensive. So you're going to have that option on the Prima, just like some of our other ships also. So yeah, she has so much. She has the Galaxy Pavilion, so Top Golf. If anyone that has done Top Golf, that's a big one. All the VR shows for the kids and rides. The little mini golf, so that's going to be exciting. Yeah, and then of course lots of different types of bars. We don't lack in the bar department or the dining, right? So with freestyle cruising, the nice thing with that is that you have so many options to dine. You can dine where you want. If you want to have dinner 2 times in different locations, you're able to, right? So that's the nice thing with the Prima and all of our other ships.
And I love that. It is there really is on board this ship, there really is something for everybody. And especially like you were saying, I don't know where should I go to eat? Like, how about we just go to this one area of the ship and everybody can be served at the same time?
Exactly, right? And there's going to be Indian, like I mentioned, the noodles, the garden cafe, like there's going to be so many and different options, right? So that's, if you want to have just dessert, cocos, if you want to have a crepe for lunch, you can just go and have a crepe for lunch, right? So.
And I also love the solo staterooms because, you know, a lot of our travelers are those solo trip takers. I mean, we encourage people to come and join some of our trips because we're bringing all these solo travelers together to either find a roommate or hopefully reduce the cost a bit when it comes to this, you know, single occupancy. So that's amazing. And, you know, I know there is so many things moving with the whole COVID stuff and it's hard to keep up. But I also know a lot of cruise lines are getting more relaxed when it comes to actually being able to book and reserve a stateroom and, of course, join the ship. So how about, as of today, we all know this could change, you know, a week or 2 from now, but as of today, what are the COVID protocols that Norwegian is following and asking of from the guests?
So we've, as you know, we've changed things. So we now allow, depending on itineraries, of course, right? So right now we have, so let's say for Europe, everybody needs to be vaccinated. But the Caribbean, some islands have opened up for unvaccinated guests. So we are allowing unvaccinated guests. So all the unvaccinated need to do is a pre-COVID test prior to getting onto the ship. Vaccinated guests does not need to get tested any longer like we did before COVID. But like you said, things change every day. So I always tell everybody, make sure you book with a travel consultant because a travel consultant has all this information. If you book online, guess what? You're not going to have this information or even to look for the information. So, because you're right, it changes every day. So right now we are allowing, of course, vaccinated and unvaccinated, depending on the itinerary. As mask wise, no masks are required, only if you feel like you need to. The nice thing with Norwegian Cruise Line, even before COVID, we were always very the washy-washy. For anyone that's ever traveled on us, we have the washy-washy around all the time, spraying everybody's hands. So that's something that we even had prior to COVID. So of course we've increased it and really high on hygiene and cleanliness on our ships, right? So but yeah, it's easy now to travel. Like there's just and it's comfortable. I think I've cruised about 5-6 times already this year. And I actually felt more comfortable on the ship than I did at Costco or at Superstore or any of the grocery stores, right? So
hey, and as we're talking about this is like one of the main things that we're hearing as a challenge when it comes to consumer confidence, especially on cruise ships, is that, oh my gosh, what if there's a breakout on the cruise ship? Like, what do we do? And would you agree that a cruise ship is probably one of the more safest, just like an airplane, one of the most safest places to be?
Well, you know what, with CDC requirements before we even started, like we had to change all of our filters across our entire fleet to HEPA filters.
Yep.
So our filters on our ships are exactly what hospital filters are. So right there, Melissa, I'm like, okay, I know that I'm safe. And the other nice thing is, so we've blocked out inside staterooms close to the medical center, so that if you are positive with COVID, then that's where you go, so that the rest of your family and friends aren't, you know, they might not be positive, so they can still continue and enjoy their vacation. So yeah, no, it's the safest. It's I started sailing right when the ship started sailing, and like I said earlier, I felt more comfortable than I did going to the grocery store because I knew everybody was vaccinated.
Yep.
Right? Everybody was tested prior to getting on the ship.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
okay. And so just to clarify, on board, for vaccinated, they do not require testing anymore on board?
Only depending on the itinerary. So if a country requires it, then yes.
Okay. And the unvaccinated, they require a test before boarding the ship? And then are they required to take a test during the cruise?
No.
Okay.
No. Just again, if there's a destination that requires it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. So exciting stuff happening. Norwegian Prima. I will leave a link here in the show notes for you to check out their trailer video, because your mind will be blown. When I saw this racetrack for one and the VR stuff, I was like, holy smokes, like it's crazy. And so the last question I have for you is, what are the trends that you guys are seeing or that you have seen in the last 6 months?
Exotic itineraries. You know, I think everybody during COVID were writing their bucket lists of all these exotic itineraries and longer itineraries.
Yep.
So we're finding that, you know, more of the Rome to Lisbon or the Dubai Holy Land, those are going like hotcakes, I say, because again, people did not travel for 2 years.
Yep.
They built these big bucket lists. And I think, Melissa, you're going to agree with me, cruising is the best way to do it, because in, let's say, 14 days, you can see 8-9 countries.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So yes, we're finding more of Europe, Mexican Riviera, I'll be honest with you, that one was really popular for us this past winter. And I think it was more because guests weren't comfortable with the flying long ways because we're out on the West Coast. So I found out of Vancouver and Alberta market, the Mexican Riviera was our number one, just because of the shorter flight, not having to worry about the longer flights and stuff. Mm-hmm. And then Alaska's been very popular this year, again, because it's close to home.
Yep. Cool. Yeah. And speaking of Alaska, would you recommend one specific itinerary? I know all the Alaska itineraries are amazing, but just for our listeners, what would you say is kind of the top Alaska itinerary that may be worth checking out for 2023?
So we have actually 2 amazing itineraries that I always recommend. If you're a first-time Alaska traveler, our Vancouver one-way, southbound and northbound, you get to, in 7 days, you get to see a lot more of Alaska. Mm-hmm. So you get to see more glaciers, you get to go right up to Anchorage, so you get to see a little bit more. So that one I highly recommend for someone that has never done Alaska and probably will never go back to Alaska. Mm-hmm. My favorite, I do it almost every year. My friends think I'm crazy. I do the Seattle on the Bliss or the Encore 7 days, because it stops at all my favorite places. It stops at Juneau, Skagway, Sitka, and Icy Strait, and then you see a glacier, because those are my favorite spots. And then of course Ketchikan. So that's the nice thing with us, is that if you want to see a lot of Alaska, we have that for you. And then if you want like a quick trip, just get a feel for Alaska, then do the 7-day, because you get to see the glaciers. And for someone that has never thought of going to Alaska, or you know what, Alaska is not my thing because you know we have the mountains, we have the snow all year round. You guys, the glaciers is breathtaking. Like it is, you need to add it on to your bucket list because like I said, I do it almost every year. And this year I took 3 of my friends that have never traveled, never cruised, and never done Alaska. If I were to tell them tonight, let's go to Alaska tomorrow, they'd be packed ready to go because they just loved it. And they never thought that they would have enjoyed Alaska, but it's breathtaking. So
just as you're explaining that, it's like I have shivers on my arms because it's
is.
like I haven't done that cruise yet, and I can only imagine just standing there in the majestic. It's like words can't even explain it. It's a feeling.
It is, and I've been just talking about it. I have the shivers too, and it's peaceful. Like the day you're sailing up to go and see one of the glaciers, it is so peaceful. The ocean is like a very calming color, and then all of a sudden you have these little icebergs, I call them, with wildlife on them, like seals, and then you see the whales. Like it's again, if it's not on your bucket list, please make sure Alaska's on your bucket list because you won't regret it.
Oh, I love it. Well, in all of this, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for coming on the show today. I know you're very busy, and I am sure our guests are going to love to see this Norwegian Prima in action, as well as consider Alaska on their bucket list.
Thank you very much, Melissa. It's been a pleasure.